Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with me, Mr. Cool Plays, and today's video we're going to be going over how you can do pixel art and graffiti in Minecraft. So we're going to start off with, of course, a nice little reminder that we have so many colors in Minecraft to choose from, so make sure to choose wisely. Now when it comes to making like graffiti and text on walls, you can choose any one of these colors. But usually, you want it to stand out, right? So you can choose a color that stands out, preferably a bright color for the text. And then, you can just like write it down. Now, the first thing I'll note here is that, as you can see, we have the word hello. That's great. It doesn't really stand out that much. It doesn't really look very good. It looks very boring and very bland. So what we should do, I think, is first we can, you can change the font, right? You can change how the text looks. You can change the shapes and sizes of the letters to make them maybe stand out a little bit more, and maybe like make them more bold, more pronounced, or maybe just give them a crazy like style. So all I did really was just beef the word up, and just beef the letters up. But now again, I mean, this is a little bit better, but it still doesn't look very good. This is where the kicker comes in. What you want to do is you want to add in these lines, these highlights and drop shadows, and it really makes the text pop. I mean, as you can see, it looks as if this text was sort of floating in front of the wall in a way. And also you should take into consideration lighting, right? I put these white concrete blocks on the left top corner of every letter because that's where the light is coming from, even though the sun is there. But whatever, okay? We're just trying to sell an illusion, right? Put a drop shadow in the other direction and it just looks so cool. And when doing drop shadows, you need to remember you are making a shadow for the block in this corner, right? So this block is casting this shadow, this block is casting this shadow, and this block is casting this shadow. That's why there's no shadow here, because there's no block here, if you know what I mean. So basically all you have to do is outline the text from one side and then highlight it from the other. And again, as you can see here with the O, this part here is highlighted because the light is still coming down on this. And it's not coming down like straight like this, it's like it's coming from an angle, like from over there, shining down on this. That's why you highlight this little bottom part of the O as well. So now that we made the text stand out from the background, how about we make it stand out from the background more by making the background stand out from the text? And this is what we do here. Pick a color that is polar opposite to the color that we made the text in. So the text is made in light blue. The opposite color to that would be yellow. So I made the background yellow and I gave it a nice little gradient down to orange and then to red to give it a red outline. Because again, graffiti especially is meant to like pop, right? It's really meant to look cool, and you're meant to use vibrant colors. So that's precisely what I did. I put a big giant explosion behind the hello, and I actually gave the hello some motion. I gave it a little bit of a wave, right? Make it look even more 3D. Give it a little bit of just make it a little more fancy, right? Because it's boring to look at text that looks boring. I think gradients are really cool. Although in graffiti, you don't really need to be too careful with the gradients. It's more about being vibrant, right? So it fades quite well, but it doesn't fade too well into the orange, if you know what I mean. Like there is a visible line where the color switches. But especially from a distance, it looks really cool. So, I mean, it's not really that hard to do. Like, unlike texturing builds, right? Like with gradients and stuff, graffiti and pixel art is actually really simple if you know what you're doing, All you have to have is like an idea and just follow some steps, right? Drop shadows, highlights, and colorful background and colorful text that contrast each other. I mean, that is basically it, really. Now, you can do text, right? And that would be graffiti, but you can also do pixel art, which is what I have behind me. Now, obviously, this first guy here, this is an Among Us player. I know I did him. Just a lot of people seem to be making pixel art Among Us guys, so I done one as well. Now, unlike the graffiti, with the pixel art, you can just give it an outline of the entire body. I mean, you can give it a drop shadow too. I mean, that's up to you. Those are your creative liberties, but it often looks good to give it an outline. You can always give the text an outline as well, right? But I just think drop shadows look better. Then, of course, we have the same trick as if the light was coming from there and going down there. And I think the reason why it's usually better to put the light in the top left is because that's where people read from, right? You read from top left to right bottom. So same with the Among Us character. We gave him a little bit of a highlight here and then a highlight there. And same thing with the body. Give it a little outline among the edges and keep the center of it a bit brighter. Now, it's important for it to be noted that the bigger your pixel art is, right, the more area it spans, the more detail you can get. So, like, take this example behind me, this burger. It's quite big. It's quite big, but it works, and I managed to add in a few layers of color, and it just pops very nicely. Obviously, you want colors that contrast each other to be next to each other the most, so that every individual piece stands out. So I have, as you can see here, I have the lettuce, then I have the cheese, then I have the ketchup on top of the meat, and then some more cheese, and it's dripping down, to add in that detail, because usually like hot cheese drips down. So you don't want to forget about this kind of stuff, like to sell what it actually is, because this could be tomatoes, but the fact that it's dripping down, it makes it look like ketchup. Then I also made a pixel art Minecraft heart and a pixel art hunger bar, as you can see here when I switch myself to survival mode. And a nice pair of shades, of course, because, yeah, it's kind of my brand. You can really get wild when it comes to making pixel art, where you have so many colors to choose from in Minecraft, and it doesn't just have to be wool and concrete, although I do like using them the most because they're the most vibrant. But again, for this sandwich, I did use stripped birch logs and then brown mushroom. What's it called? Brown mushroom block. But yeah, I guess that's all. And we have this last one over here. Yeah, this is basically a summary of what I showed you, right? You want to have the highlights, you have a drop shadow, and of course, saturated colors always help. I don't know why YouTube made the subscribe button white. I guess they didn't watch this video. But yeah, anyway, that's it really. So see you guys next time. And yeah, have a lovely day. Bye.